10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go raise the stakes, let's go raise the stakes with AT and carry LETTT. Let's go.
Woo, let's go.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going good, man. I can't believe we're already at another Friday here.
I texted you yesterday and you said that. I was like, I know, I almost had to check the calendar. This is crazy how fast time's flying by right now.
Absolutely.
How's William doing? You don't have your co-host today.
He's down by Grandma today. He loves hanging out with Grandma. Usually on Fridays, Grandma will come over and they'll do like some art projects and stuff like that. So he's eating eggs and bacon and he's doing artwork with Grandma right now. So
that's a beautiful thing. Love that.
He's on his baby business.
Plus, he's got the sweetest grandma in the whole world. I don't know if I talked about this before, but when I was older than William at that time, but we moved out to Arizona when I was a youngster in kindergarten. And so we lived out there for like 4 or 5 years. It was amazing, but then it also sucked because we didn't have any grandparents or family nearby. So it's just the parents and friends and family. But man, having grandma right there, that's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, so I enjoy my Fridays on here with you, and she enjoys it too because then she gets to hang out with William. So
yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Speaking of family, the whole Man family over here, we're all. I guess I gotta be careful. We're all carnivore 99%. 2 of the girls are a little ketovore, but it has never been like this before. I think a couple months ago, everyone kind of experimented, but Jen is doing it now too, and I think she's coming up on a week carnivore. And I mentioned this before. Anna inspired her. I think me watching nonstop carnivore content also inspired her. But she's trying to do it right this time because she tried before and she jumped in too quick, and she was vegetarian before this. She joined Bella's group, Bella's Steak and Butter Gang. They've got some really good coaching and support, especially when you have issues like Jen does, where it's like, listen, I've been eating vegetables for 5 years. I don't love the meat like Carrie and JT do. It's going to take me some while, some baby steps. So she's been participating in that group for a couple of days now, really enjoying it. So I think that's going to help her out as well, taking baby steps. I was encouraging her. I'm like, it doesn't just have to be like burger patties and steak all the time. Eggs are wonderful, and we've been doing that all week. It's like the new family thing. It's really cool too because the triplets, they're all homeschooling now, so
that's awesome.
They can kind of control their schedule a little bit more. But we've been having a big, huge family breakfast every single day, usually around lunchtime, usually like around 10 or 11. Scrambled eggs, ground beef, bacon, kind of the Power Bowl deconstructed because 2 of them are not big fans of bacon, but yeah, it's been amazing. I know I always hype up carnivore, but I am telling you, I said this to Jen last night. I'm like, just observe the children, the kids, the girls. Their behavior's totally different on carnivore. They're like less drama, less arguing, less crankiness. Their mood's better. They're laughing, they're joking. It is noticeable. Katie said to me the other day too, it's been kind of fun because Katie's got her YouTube channel, Outdoor Katie. She goes down these. Katie's like the research geek. All of the girls are different, of course. And Katie's been going down these rabbit holes where we watched this video the other day about glyphosate. I think I talked about this last time. She just did this whole report on it. Well, she keeps doing these reports on things. And she said to me like 2 days ago, she's like, I've learned more in the last 2 weeks than I did probably in the last 2 years at school. Because she's doing what she's interested in. And I'm like, that's wonderful. That's what it should be more like, is like, what is this? Katie's going to have different interests than Emma. Emma's doing what she's interested in. So now that they're kind of homeschooling, they're able to focus on things they're more interested in. And I think that's way better than forcing someone like learn about this thing that you have literally no interest in whatsoever. So it's been pretty awesome. It's crazy. It's all come together here as they hit 1 year on carnivore. The whole family's doing it. So
it's awesome. I always read more books that I suggested to read to myself. You know, if someone told me I had to read a book, I never wanted to read that book. But if it was something I came up with the idea, then I usually read that book. So it's nice to see that the girls, they're thriving on carnivore, and it sounds like they're getting interested in it. They're learning. They're getting along with each other. You know, like I think a lot of that's the brain fog, Carrie.
I think you're right. And the thing that I'm so happy about with all of it is not that, oh, we're all eating meat, we're all eating as a family together. That is wonderful. But I'm worried about them and their future because, like I said this before last week on the channel, it's like this next generation. I was eating bad before. I was eating processed bad food. And look where I ended up. Like I was horrible before finding carnivore. This generation, their generation, is eating ultra processed foods, sugars, and then there's all these glyphosates and pesticides and chemicals. It's like a minefield out there. But I think part of the reason they're getting fired up too is because they're getting a little pissed off about it. And I would be too. I'm like, wait, what are they feeding me? What have I been eating? What's in those Cheerios that I used to eat? So it's like a good thing from that perspective too, because they know that they can make the decisions. They can do this or they can do that. And frankly, part of it's education. They just didn't know before. I didn't know before. You didn't know before. So that's been pretty cool. Hey, speaking of family and grandmas, my mom just jumped on here. Shout out Grandma Liz. Where did it go here?
Hey.
My mom and stepdad had mentioned before.
I still got to meet your mom yet.
Yeah, she's traveling. They're traveling carnivores. There it is. Happy Friday. That's my mom and stepdad, Bill.
Like Willie Nelson, on the road again.
Yeah, they're traveling around in an RV, living the carnivore lifestyle. My mom started like not too long after I did, so she's coming up on her 1 year. She has dabbled a little bit in ketovore, but she's eating a proper human diet. My stepdad's eating a proper human diet. They're huge, like you, JT. My stepdad, Bill, is a huge Dr. Chafee fan.
They look like they got good taste in hats too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that hat.
Yeah, my stepdad just had his birthday not too long ago, so I was like, next time I see you, I'm getting you ribeye steak. Come on over.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so they're traveling around. That's the cool thing with carnivore too, is everyone has a story that resonates with different people. So they're traveling around, they're going to different campgrounds. So they got people asking, like, wait, what? You just eat meat? Like, what do you, Dr. Chafee book you're holding right there? What's that all about? And inspiring people all over the place. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it feels good to help somebody, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for them coming back. I'm trying to arrange things too, because we're going to be down at Hack Your Health at the end of May, the beginning of June. I'm going to be filming a bunch of people. So I was telling my mom, I'm like, hey, if you're in Texas in that area, maybe we can. But she's going to be back here 4th of July in Montello. So
okay. I should be there 4th of July. Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Hopefully no one blows their finger off.
Right. Yeah. I thought I heard a kid crying. We actually have, it's busy on the homestead, JT. Speaking of 4th of July, we're going to have some big festivities here. We have a dogs in the dog kennel right now, which is great. Alyssa's been managing that. We have guests behind me. You probably can't see them, but I can see them right out the window. We got a little play set out there. Big family that rented the Airbnb out. They're out there playing on the swing set right now. And then shout out Emma and Alyssa. They used to clean our Airbnb rental for us instead of Jen or me cleaning it. We've the whole family kind of chips in from time to time, mostly not me, honest, if I'm being honest about it. But Emma's been cleaning it forever. She started this little cleaning business and they're going to town. Carnivore Brain again. Alyssa and Emma yesterday, they were out. I'm like, you guys got to balance this with your schoolwork because they're kind of flexible with their schedule. But they went out and cleaned 3 houses yesterday for customers, and they met with a new customer to give them a quote. So I'm like, you guys are going to have some employees pretty soon if you keep this up. I'm like, that's the carnivore business mindset there, I guess, are out of that brain fog. So
tell them to look for office rooms too.
Yeah.
You have to do a lot of toilets and stuff like that. And it's really don't make much big messes at offices unless they have an office party, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see here. So I put a little title in. We always have a little bit of a theme. The theme I put on today was lifespan. I'm not going to rant forever, but if you guys have any questions for JT and me, we'll do a little carnivore roll call. Let us know where you're from. And someone posted this. I think it was maybe Susan. I got to get caught up on the chats here. What did you guys eat today? And what are you eating? Let us know. It's always fun to hear that. And have you eaten anything really, really good lately? The lifespan thing I just want to talk about real quickly because, JT, when we talk about carnivore, you mentioned this earlier, you're almost at your goal weight. A lot of people get to their goal weight or they go on carnivore because they have an important why. For me, it was most of my adult life with depression, anxiety. That was my biggest why. Sleep issues, the CPAP machine. I was 100 pounds heavier at my heaviest, arthritis in my back, all of those things. That was my immediate why. You address so many of those things, a lot of people quickly on carnivore. And then I think what happens is people are like, oh, I'm good now. And then you don't really have a why. And then the good becomes normal and you're like, things are just fine. And then people have the tendency to be like, well, I'm just going to go back to what I was doing before because things are normal now. And that could be a very slippery slope. And I always just caution people on that because I did that so many times on the ketogenic diet, lost a bunch of weight, started feeling a little bit better. And then I tried to go back into moderation and I started going in the wrong direction, gaining all the weight back. And then the depression comes back and then you feel like a big failure. And it's one of the most disheartening things in the world. If you lose a bunch of weight and you start reaching your goals to then just completely reverse it. And it happens so quickly for a lot of people. So anyhow, my point is we do this for our immediate whys. I've met those immediate whys. I'm at my goal weight. No more depression, no more anxiety. I feel incredible. I'm thriving. You almost have to change your why. And my new why is lifespan, which is what I kind of put as the theme of this, the title of the video. I have learned from so many smart experts filming the documentary Healing Humanity, humans should be living to be 120. We don't. We're all dying. I was just Googling this. The average life expectancy in the globe right now is 72. And it's going down. It's going, for the first time, I guess, in forever, I think I was reading. Historically, the life expectancy, the average age of death has been going up. People are living longer and longer. It's actually going down now for the first time in forever. But 72 is our normal. And in my opinion, it's a shame and it's an absolute joke. We should be living into our hundreds. All humans should be. And I believe the only reason we're not is because the standard American diet, chronic inflammation, sugar, seed oils, stuff we're not supposed to be eating. We're slowly poisoning ourselves forever. And then we're happy if we make it to 70. And most people that are making it to 70, they're just barely getting by. They got aches and pains and mobility issues and they're suffering. And you work your whole life to get to retirement age to then just suffer and have all of these issues. It's such a travesty. It's so sad. And then when you talk about dementia and Alzheimer's and cancers that people are getting, almost all of those are just nutrition related. So I'm not going to rant forever because I tend to do that, but that's my big why going forward is I should easily live to 100. Do I want to live to 100 or do I want to live into my early 70s suffering and then end up with cancer?
40, man, tack on another 40, man. I lived to 140.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know what you guys think about that, or anyone in the chat, leave us some comments. What are your long-term whys? That's kind of one of my realizations I've had recently is I want to grow old with Jen, and I want to go to the girls' weddings, and I want to have grandkids, and I don't want to reach retirement age suffering with aches and pains and ending up with dementia or Alzheimer's or one of these things that I believe are almost entirely due to not the foods we're eating, the waste we're eating, the chronic inflammation we have from this science experiment we call the standard American diet. That's my big why going forward. So I see a lot of people struggling with that, where they get into this flow and they're like, well, everything's great now. I'll just go back to what I was doing. And it's so discouraging if you have that progress and then reverse it.
Yeah, I'm getting close to that goal weight, so I've been sticking to it. I was just talking to Carrie about it. I got these little ketone pee strips that you can pee on. And I told him the past 3 days it says negative, like I'm not even in ketosis. And I know all I eat is eggs, bacon, and steak. That's literally what I eat all day, every day. So there'd be no way for me to not be in ketosis. But I looked it up and they said sometimes if your ketones are low, it's because your body's trained to use the ketones up properly, rather than like when you first start, it makes an abundance and it doesn't really know how to use them. So you piss out a lot of your ketones and don't even get to use them properly when you first start. So they said that's why you may be your ketone count could be low. But I want to get one of those blood blood ones and just do it the right way and see
Yeah.
what really is going on, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Keto Mojo is the way to go. I'd highly recommend it. Like I mentioned earlier, I sent a bunch of those to our friends in Canada. For some reason, they can't get them in Canada, but those are great. And it logs it on your phone so you can keep track. But I think you're right too. It's very interesting what happens. JT and I were talking about this a little earlier. When you first start carnivore, you drop a lot of weight fast. Some of it's water weight, but who cares? It's weight you were carrying around forever. It's gone. Yeah. But also I think the fat burning and stuff like that, because to your point, the ketones and stuff like that is behaving differently. When you start doing carnivore for a long time, your body gets really smart and it sees these patterns. Like every day, JT's eating bacon, eggs, steak, same time, same thing, and it starts to sort of stall out. So I don't know. I always tell people if that happens, if you get in a stall, try to just switch things up for a little bit. Do lion diet for a day or fast for a day, or you got to. It's like you got to confuse your body or something. It's too darn smart.
I've even kind of moved to lion diet except for eggs. So, you know, and I had a little bit of bacon yesterday, but the past 3 days before that, it was pretty much just lion diet. I don't do lion diet for more than 5 days at a time, really.
Yeah.
I didn't even do 5 days this time. But yeah, I think I'm going to switch to the blood counter. And the reason I was checking, because when I was telling Carrie, when you first start the diet, you lose like 6 pounds, 7 pounds, 8 pounds a week, you know, like, especially when you're really overweight. And then all of a sudden now I don't lose no 7 pounds a week. So not that I think I'm not in ketosis, because I'm like, well, how couldn't I be with what I'm eating? But and I feel great. So it's not like I'm like, well, I'm starting to feel crappy again. Am I not in ketosis or something like that? The only reason I'm checking is because, like I said, the weight loss isn't there every week, because I don't really have 7, 8 pounds to lose every week anymore.
Right.
I'm like, well, I should still be able to check on things, because before I didn't need the ketone counter because I was just losing weight like crazy. I was like, I've got to be in ketosis. This stuff is just dripping right off. But then when you stop losing the weight all the time, that's when I feel like that's what made me want to start counting the ketones, just to make sure I'm optimal, as
right.
Dr. Chafee would say.
It's like a good problem to have, though, because it's encouraging for people that are starting carnivore. When you get into it, man, that weight comes off quick. It gets discouraging, but the good news is it's almost always discouraging when you're getting close to your goal weight. You're getting so close. Those last couple of pounds, they just hang on so hard.
I know.
The thing with the Keto Mojo I think you'll like, though, is I didn't know this. I used to just think, oh, you just eat steak and whatever, you're in ketosis. But there's a lot of different things. Our buddy Jeff has taught me a lot about this that could affect the level of your ketones, like your sleep and exercise and different things. So when you do that Keto Mojo, you
too much, it'll bump you right out of ketosis.
Yeah.
So and that's not me promoting don't exercise so you stay in ketosis. Actually, especially if you do like some muscle building, it uses up the ketones that you've had, right? But then when that muscle rips and it creates more new muscle, it'll actually almost double your ketones the next time they rebuild. So some people are afraid to do the exercise, but then you're actually losing out on extra ketone count the next time around because you didn't build extra muscle. So, I mean, go ahead, do the workout. It might knock you out of ketosis for like an hour or two, but I think because it's not like a true knockout where you had like a bunch of sugar and carbs, I think you won't take 12 hours to bounce back.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, quick shout out. JT and I got a big meetup coming up, and it's going to be a ton of fun. Just for anyone new here that hasn't heard yet, I'll put a little link there's a link in the description. We're having it in Thiensville, Wisconsin, April 13th. Man, it's coming up. Was that 2 weeks out?
Yep. And we've already had a couple people donate tickets for anybody who couldn't afford.
Yeah, hey, I got one ticket right now remaining from these donations. Shout out Carnivore Cheer Lori. If anyone in the chat wants to pick that one up, just shoot me an email, homesteadhow@gmail.com. We're charging $25 because we're renting out this park, so part of the money goes to that. The rest of it goes to the documentary, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Beautiful park. JT's family's going to be there. My family's going to be there. We're going to have the YouTube camera that I got behind me there. I'm going to bring that with, so capture some.
We're going to be grilling with a bunch of strangers because some of these people I've never met, and I want to grill out with all you guys. We're going to cook our steaks right next to each other and have a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Link in the description below if anyone wants to join us. The more the merrier. It's going to be a blast. So, Holly, hello, 59 days and still going strong. That's great. Congratulations.
Let's go, Holly.
We got the Carnivore boss. Let's go.
Let's go, boss.
Shout out Rebecca, a good friend of the channel. She's been helping with the Healing Humanity documentary. She's awesome. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Rebecca.
Carnivore with Nadine. We got Daryl. Good morning from New Orleans. Wait, how do you say that?
Nolans.
Nolans.
Come on, Carrie. Nolans.
We got Rick. I'm going quackers at home. Weather cooled off a bit, so I'm going through the junky house. There you go.
Take advantage of it, Rick. It's always hot, man. You get that sweaty weather.
Susan Lydia said, what did everyone eat for breakfast this morning? I haven't had anything yet. I'm having breakfast after this. Did you eat anything yet, JT?
Bacon and eggs with my son.
There you go.
Every morning, that's what we eat.
That's awesome homeschooling. Yeah, it's been great. Dutch Carnivore, good day, everyone. We got Big Man Alaska. He's got a good YouTube channel, too.
Big Man Alaska, what's up?
Carnivore Snowman. Carrie, what was the name of the farm next to you? Do you buy the beef from? I need to get some ground beef for my dog. That is Wacholt's Family Farm.
Yeah.
It takes me a second because we have two people that are advertising on the screen, and one is Wacholt's and one is like Wachowiak. So I always mix it in my head. Wacholt's Family Farm. WACHOLZ. Wacholt's Family Farm. Yeah, those guys are incredible. And they usually have a decent amount of ground beef. The steaks, they run out on quite often, but they usually got a lot of ground beef. True, that is the difference. You control what they learn. Yep.
In a good way, you know.
Oh, here we go with the UFO picture. It's funny. So Bill Knott, our buddy Bill Knott, texted me the other day, and he was watching, was it Jocko?
Yasko.
I don't know. Is he the UFO guy?
Does Bill watch Yasko?
Maybe it wasn't Yasko. It was some UFO dude. And I think JT mentioned to me before. And anyways, Bill, they recommended it to him. I don't think he normally watches that. And he saw the UFO picture that I took a couple of years ago on the homestead. He's like, what's going on with this? Whatever happened with the UFO picture? Nothing. I posted that YouTube video a couple of years ago. I was doing night photography outside. Something flew by. I snapped a couple quick pictures. I got so many comments on it. And honestly, I don't even answer the comments anymore because frankly, a lot of them are just kind of crazy and insane, and some nasty ones too that I'm like, whatever, I don't got to pay attention to this.
You photoshopped that, bro.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the Men in Black didn't stop by your ass, man. And
the comment I get that's so annoying, and I'm like, why am I even wasting my time on this? Is they're like, oh, if that's real, why didn't you switch your camera into video mode and get video of it instead of taking pictures? Okay, here's a quick lesson for those individuals. Number one, go outside in the middle of the night and put your camera on video mode and see how many stars you can see in the sky. Almost none. When you take a picture, the camera lens will open for a longer period of time to allow more light to come in. You get more light. I was outside in picture mode taking picture of the Milky Way. So I had it all like ready to go quick. And this, whatever this thing was, I'm not saying this was like there's aliens in there. Maybe it was the government testing something. I don't know what the heck it was, but something flew by super quick. Like this is the thing that drives me nuts with the comments. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I'm literally like looking up in the pitch black, can barely see my hand in front of my face. I went click, click, click. That was it. The whole thing was over. And people are like, why don't you do this? Why don't you get multiple different angles and all this stuff like this? I'm like, you guys are crazy.
Why don't you have it land? You know, a UFO is not going to just sit still.
Right.
Let's just say I was visiting another planet. I'm not going to sit there and let them take all these photos. I'm going to, like a reconnaissance mission, man. I'm going to swoop in, look and see what I see, and then I'm swoop out. I'm definitely not going to stop for pictures.
Right. Yeah. So in terms of whatever happened, nothing really. The video's still up there. I get a lot of comments. I really don't answer much of them. We actually had the Discovery Channel. They were doing a UFO thing. I sent them like a video clip. So that sighting thing was actually on like the Discovery Channel, like a little short excerpt or something at some time. So
see, and that's the other thing. You don't know when a UFO sighting is going to happen.
Right.
It's not like, you know, it was on Carrie's calendar and he's like, I got to get out there. He was doing something else and then it occurred. And that's what happens to most people. Most people are like, well, how come the video always sucks? Well, because these people are half shitting themselves that they're seeing what they're seeing. and then they're trying to get their phones out. They're in a panic. They're in a rush. Your hands are shaking.
Right.
And you're just not going to get the. It is what it is. You did great, man. You had a bunch of great photos.
There's so many crazy comments too. Like people are like, "That's BS. I don't believe in aliens." I'm like, believe in whatever you want. A UFO, the definition of UFO is unidentified flying object.
It does not mean it's an alien spacecraft. It just means it's an aircraft or something that flies that we don't. I don't know. I ain't got the book on it. I haven't seen a photo of that one. You know,
right? And the thing is,
what it is, I don't.
There's a lot of theories that a lot of these unidentified flying objects are maybe the government testing some sort of different type of aircraft or something. Like, who knows what it is? I don't know. I took some pictures. I put it up on the YouTube channel.
I think they're drones, Kerry, because you can't have vehicles that go that fast and stop and make all these weird turns and then fly in the water without literally hurting everybody in the craft. So I think they're probably drones with nobody in them, but they're like these high-tech drones that can really go fast.
Well, you hear some stuff like with the military sighting stuff or the Navy and things like that, where they're just like, psh, psh, they're just doing crazy, unnatural.
You'd be dead, man, if you were in there. I don't care if you were half rhinoceros from another planet. You would be a dead rhinoceros in that craft.
Susan said, yes, my kids, when little, ate good, whole foods, ancestral type food, and well behaved. Greatest teens and greatest young adults, too. Happy for you, Carrie and Jen. Oh, thank you, Susan. Appreciate that.
Shout out to Susan.
Good Friday. Do you still eat meat? I think I'm having chicken today.
Yeah, I had bacon and eggs.
Yeah, same. The best thing my mom ever did was buy me any book that I wanted to read. Oh, that's awesome. I kind of have that policy with the girls, too. Every now and then we'll head out to Madison to run errands, and there's this half-price bookstore there. It's pretty cool.
Half price. They've got everything. They've got movies, games. They've got I've always loved half price bookstore.
The girls love it too. So if we're there, I'm like, it's hard for me to say no if they want me to buy them a book. Like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, what?
That's where I got my Kilts book, The Fertile Secret.
Oh, nice.
Around there, and then I seen Kilts' name on there, and I said, "Ooh."
Right. One sec.
Guy.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to do Carnivore Book Club here, but I'm missing one of them. But actually, I think I got one of these from Half Price Books, and then it was like a thrift store in Madison. Jen wanted to stop at, and they had a big thing of books. Look at this. Obesity Code. Jason Fung. This is a great, great book. Like, this is a sought-after book. Forward by Timothy Noakes. $2.79. Used. I mean, it's just sitting there on the shelf, brand new. This book was $19 in the United States, so $3. And then this one looked interesting. Wired to Eat: Turn Off Cravings, Rewire Your Appetite by Rob Wolf. I don't know exactly what this one is about, but it was like $2. So I'm like, let's just get it and see.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to learn from somebody.
Right?
I love books, man. I wish I had more time, but
that's the thing, right? I keep buying them and stacking them up. I'm like, I should probably read some of those before I buy a few more. But
hey, some of it's bound to soak in, Kerry. Even if
well, some of it now and then, like before a live stream, you can just browse through it, read a chapter or two. Like some of these they're just informational, nutritional stuff. Here we go. Annette said, I wanted to let you all know of a carnivore couple that are absolutely hilarious on YouTube. JJ and Eric. I binged all episodes. Channel is 3 months old. Awesome. I haven't watched them yet. I'll have to check that out.
We'll have to check that out.
Susan said, yes, future health. And if they one day get married and want children, you pray their fertility is good. Absolutely.
Hey, got to get on Carnivore, Kilt says.
100%. Hello to Carrie's mom. Will she ever park their RV on your property? Yeah, they have before. Although we had a little incident with that last time because they got stuck backing out. But yeah, my mom has come here to the property. The cool thing too is there are. Oh, sorry. I just saw an animal walking by. I think it was a chicken. It looked like a cat. We got a lot of activity going. There's goats walking by. There's chickens. There's kids running around outside. There's tons of campgrounds near our house. And there's a kind of a cool campground, I think, that my mom is staying at this next time. But yeah, they're always welcome to stay here too. It's always a little bit more convenient with the campground because you got the sewage and you got all the hookups and all of that stuff, which I don't have all of that here.
You tell your mom to try the Lazy Days campground by my parents.
Oh, yeah.
Lazy Days, it's called.
Nice.
Pretty nice one.
Why doesn't she join the live? Hey, Mom, you're always welcome to join the live. She has in the past. In fact, I think one of the first lives I did on Carnivore was with my mom and Emma. And my mom came on the 24-hour live stream. I think maybe also the 10-hour live stream. So she's been on a couple. It's tricky with her because their internet, a little sketchy, a little on and off there. I think even on the 24-hour live stream, we had it cut out a couple times. Carrie, do you have your biological dad around too? Yes, he is. He's in Florida right now, but he's coming back soon, and he lives about an hour from here, which is awesome. So we usually see the girls see Grandpa in the summertime. It's cool too.
Because call that when the old people migrate down south and come back.
Yeah, he's a snowbird.
Snowbird. Okay, I was looking for I was trying to think. Is he a snowbird?
Yeah, pretty much. Every winter he goes down to Florida, which is cool because the girls and I, we took our first vacation this year, Jen, literally in like 10 years. It's impossible to leave the homestead. And now that we have the movie theater, it took a ton of planning, but we went down by Grandpa's house and then we went on that cruise. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, he's here all summer, and he lives on Fox Lake, which is like an hour from here. So he lives across the street from the lake, but it's always fun in the summertime. We get to go up by Grandpa's house.
Awesome.
It's fun too because Grandpa's house is my grandpa's house. So my grandparents live there, and then they've moved on, sadly, but now my dad has that place. So I was going there as a kid, and now my kids are going there. So it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Let's see what else we got here. Had steak and eggs for brunch. There you go. Hey, we got a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Ancient Carnivore Nutrition. Appreciate that. Every penny from the super chats goes to Healing Humanity documentary. Down 8.8 pounds since March 13th. About to fire up the smoker for some ribs tonight. Happy Easter. That is awesome. Congratulations. And the ribs, I got some ribs I bought a couple weeks ago. They're sitting in the freezer. I've been meaning to smoke those up just to change things up a little bit. That sounds delicious.
Super chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Carnivore Boss, remember to hit that thumbs up on both channels. Yeah, JT's channel is also linked to in the description below. Hey, you just hit a big milestone. What happened over there at Poko Moonshine Family?
Aren't you at 200,000 yet?
I'm getting close. It's getting there. Not quite yet. I think next week
guys.
sometime.
You guys helped me. I just got to 40,000. Carrie, he's about to hit 200,000. He's just running circles around me, you guys. Just, but come on, we can get Carrie to 200,000. And if he lives to 140, I don't know what your subscriber count is.
We'll get some Mr. Beast numbers in there.
Yeah.
You know, the 200,000 thing is so humbling and crazy to me. One of my biggest piece of advice for someone is if you have a goal in life, write it down. Everyone says this. It's like cheap, but nobody does it. I didn't do it for a long time. Okay. I have a little whiteboard. Yeah. I got a little whiteboard here off the screen, and I had 100,000 subscribers written on that whiteboard, I think for 6 years. Like it was when I started YouTube, I was like, I want one of those. Like, what do I got? And that was just, and I wrote it down. And then when you write it down, then you start like, okay, now you start breaking that down. How do I get 100,000? Well, if I do one video and I get 100 subscribers, I just got to do 1,000 videos or 10,000 videos. And then you can start breaking it down. And I'm telling you, man, if you got a goal in life, if it's nutrition, carnivore, getting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, write that down. So many people talk about writing it down, but a lot of people don't do it. They just say, oh, yeah, I know what it's talking about. There's some power to putting that pen to paper and writing things down. Yep. Long story short, I can't believe I'm at 200,000 now because the goal was 100. I never said like whatever after that's great, but it's interesting. Like once it starts going, it starts to just kind of compound, I guess.
Picks up some steam. It's a flow. It's like when you first started your channel, your first video.
Oh man, I have it still. I think I showed it before. What a disaster. And the crazy thing was though, after I did that video and I watched it, I was like, this stuff is gold. This stuff is great. I watch it now and I'm like, what the heck was I doing? Should I delete it or archive it? I should.
That's how I was, man. It was pure gold. You know, who's not going to want to watch this?
Right? Oh, this is going to be huge. The first one, I look like Abraham Lincoln. I had like an Amish beard down to like here, and we were building the chicken coop. This was like 9 years ago. I just a crappy little camera that's all shaky, and I'm like, Yeah, I remember afterwards, like, this is the greatest thing ever. It's like the worst video. I don't know why anyone would want to watch that video.
But you gotta. Both our videos are laughable now. What we started out as, but you
Right?
gotta start somewhere, and every flow, like it. My coach had taught me it's like tapping into like a source of water, and it's gonna come out like a trickle. Then
Right?
the trickle is gonna turn into a stream. Then the stream flows into a river, and the river flows into eventually the ocean.
Yeah.
But you can't get it to flow into the ocean until you start that stream, and it might come out just as a couple drops, but you just keep nurturing that, keep working at the flow, and then it just keeps flowing. And mine's getting there. It definitely feels like that 40,000 marker was felt good. I felt like I was struggling before. Now I feel like I'm hit 40. I feel like I got more confidence. So it's
Now
just
that
part of the flow.
that next 10,000 is going to come like nothing. You're going to be at 50. That's like a big number.
And I'm
Boom.
halfway there, man, to my plaque. Let's go.
The thing that's so awesome with this, though, is I'm so thankful I stuck with YouTube. I get a lot of people that are like, oh, yeah, like talking about YouTube stuff. I'm like, I've been doing this for like 9 years, like tons of videos. And most of the videos that I did were long form. Like I'm talking, I'd spend like 2 weeks on some. It's so laughable now because again, I'll look at these videos that I thought were gold before I spent 2 or 3 weeks on. I'm like, man, that was just some junk back then. But the thing for me with YouTube is I never went into it like, oh, I want to get extra, I want to make money off of it. I really enjoy making the videos, and I'm so thankful I kept doing them because I got videos from 8 years ago when the girls were like this tall and we were out there building like our greenhouse or doing projects together. It's like an archive of family movies that I never would have had otherwise. If I lived to be 140, JT and I, we could look back and watch the YouTube videos from 80 years prior or whatever it was. It's just
way to digitize yourself. Now think when Emma's a great grandma, right? And you're no longer you've been gone. They
right.
can go on YouTube and watch their great grandpa. Like that's special, man. You've digitized yourself, and all your future generations in your family, they're still going to get to know you and your personality, and they can be like, oh my gosh, that's mom or whoever, like when they're looking back. So and then
Well,
you get to look back at it all, man. And I bet you made a lot of extra memories because of the YouTube channel that you maybe wouldn't have made.
yes, 100%. Yeah. It's interesting too because every now and then YouTube is so random. It'll randomly recommend one of my own videos, or maybe when Jen's watching, and we're like, oh, I forgot we even did that one 7 years ago. We filmed like so and so. We have a video where the girls did their chores, and we're like, if you do your chores, we will take you to the Montello Theater to see a movie. Never imagining that we would own the movie theater like 6 years later. It's just so. And then I was able to go back and look at that footage, and we actually filmed walking into the concession area and everything. And the owner, who I'm good friends with now, Dawn, was there. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Some of this footage. The other thing that's been really cool is I keep stumbling upon this too. I just did a video with Jen, and we were out by our wall tent platform. And she was doing like a walkthrough, talking about how she started in Carnivore and what's going on in the homestead. And I'm like, let's look at some flashback footage from when we built this thing. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I went and looked at it. And again, I hadn't seen these videos in 4 or 5 years. And for me, with the carnivore journey and the transformation and the weight loss and stuff, every now and then my weight went up and down. I've talked about this before so much. So sometimes you'll look 5 years ago, oh, you didn't look that fat, Carrie. Then you'll look 6 months earlier, you're fat. Anyways, we did a flashback when we built that wall tent platform. And I saw some footage I haven't seen. I was like, oh, the girls were like, what? I was huge. Like I was just like panting. I could hardly breathe. I was sitting in a chair trying to like assemble this table. And my gut was just like over the chair. Like I could see like I was having trouble breathing and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. It's like, it sucks, but it's kind of cool for going through a transformation like this to be able to look back and be like, wow, I don't even remember it being the girls say that all the time. Like, I didn't remember you being that bad till I see the YouTube footage from earlier. So
Yeah, I've got some footage of myself because I found an old phone that had a bunch of old video on it from when I was just starting my YouTube channel and I was super big. And I've got some footage of my wife too, and I showed it to her and she was like, oh my gosh, that's me, because she's down a bunch of weight now. So it's just hard to recognize yourself. You're like, wow, did I really like let myself go? I guess it's sobering.
yeah,
It's like looking in a mirror But it's wild, man, to look at your old self and you look older and not so well there, but then now your older self in reality looks a lot younger and better than the younger self. Everything is backwards on this planet, man.
Oh, that's the truth. It's sobering, but then it's also another good why and inspiring. When I see that footage, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go eat a cupcake so I can go return to that misery. No, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah, it's definitely some motivation, some fuel.
Prime rib roasts were on a great sale, so I'm excited to make one for dinner tonight. Oh, that I did one prime rib roast and it was amazing. Thank you for that, Holly, because that just inspired me. We're going to normally we have a movie on Sunday, and our weekends, every weekend, it's movie theater weekend, right? For the May family. We're closed on Sunday due to Easter, and we're traveling to some family. And it's so funny because I was just thinking, wait a minute, I've been carnivore for a year, and we did the same thing last year. And I remember, I think I made I made some beef roast, and I brought it with. And this was just when I was starting carnivore. Now the whole family's doing it. We're going to another family member's house. We're like, what are we going to eat? I think I'm going to do a prime rib roast and just bring it with. But yeah, I'm excited for this weekend because I love the movie theater, but every single weekend, it's nice every now and then. So Sunday we get off, we get to hang out with some family, and now the whole family's doing carnivore. And it's kind of a year anniversary since we did this last Easter, but I think I'm going to do a prime rib roast.
It's awesome. I'm telling you guys are a whole new family compared to a year ago.
Yeah. Dutch Carnivore ate a pound of ground beef burgers with beef bacon baked in kidney fat. Wow.
Let's go, Dutch.
Big Man Alaska, he's got a good YouTube channel too. Our Alaskan friends, Anchorage, Alaska, and 32-hour fasting today. Coffee, electrolytes, and vitamins. Well done, sir. That's awesome. Fasting is so good for you. Glendora, California, stink-ass cat made a couple of... I laugh every time I hear that name. I got 2 cats here, so it's funny for that reason too. Made a couple of tri-tips in the sous vide machine, and I could pull meat apart with the fingers. Awesome.
Sounds delicious, stink ass.
Carnivore with Nadine. Also, this is the Raising the Stakes episode. I don't think they interview anyone on this, so they just talk. Yeah, normally we're just chatting.
Unless we can get like Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson or someone like that.
Right.
If you guys want to tag in Joe Rogan, let him know we're interested in talking to him.
Right.
Let's go.
Have you or your audience noticed an increase in either gout or gallbladder stones? No, for me, I got rid of gout after a whole bunch of suffering with it. Dr. Barry did an amazing video on gout and how much BS there is, like meat causes gout. It's so backwards. I don't have a gallbladder. I had many gallbladder stones on the standard American diet that I had to remove my gallbladder before ever starting carnivore. I know tons of carnivores that have no gallbladder and they're just fine, but I haven't heard of an increase in gallbladder stones. Maybe someone in the chat. I don't know, JT, if you've heard anything on that.
No, I haven't had any of those issues, and I haven't heard of anybody talk about having those issues. So I think that's one of the many things that carnivore can help prevent.
Mark Smith from Ohio just had 6 eggs mixed in a pound of 73.27 ground beef. That is awesome. That's one of my favorite breakfasts is ground beef and eggs.
Let's go, Mark.
I had ground beef with 3 eggs. We eat everything good every day. Carry no junk. Awesome. There you go.
Dr. Pearson says, and I never cheat. He says, never. I love that. Like, just his intensity just hypes me up, you know?
Andy Cole, massive bacon and beef omelet with a side of bacon. I think I mentioned this last time. I've been breaking up the omelet game lately. I got this new ceramic. I love cast iron. Don't get me wrong, but I got this new ceramic chemical-free frying pan. And the omelets, just a little bit of beef tallow in there, or a lot of beef tallow. Omelets just slip in and out of there. So we've been mixing it up. We did the pizza, which is just a flat omelet with ground beef and bacon on it. And then we did the rolled up omelets the other day. It's pretty good. Today is Good Friday. I suggest fish today. Carnivore snowman about to eat a pound of ground beef. Terry, my dad got gout from eating fresh spinach every day. I think that's what got me too, man. I was eating a lot of spinach pre-carnivore.
You were Popeye?
Oh, yeah. So good for you. Full of oxalates.
I never believed Popeye. I was like, you know what? Whenever I'd see that as a kid, I'm like, I'm going to let Popeye eat that. I'm all good, bro.
Right. Hey, it's our buddy Lynn Tucker, Carnivore Ribeye Ranger, and I have been emailing his niece. She's riddled with issues yet won't see the light. He thought today and a few days ago that our C family is offering a passive intervention to all. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, send her like some Dr. Barry videos and give her some space. Like if we chase somebody, they're either gonna run or fight or flight. That's usually the two responses that people give when they're being chased. So just it's like a plant. You put the seed in the ground and just put a little water on it, and then just leave it. Let it go until it needs more water.
Ancient Carnivore Nutrition. I had a huge gout attack last year. It lasted 6 weeks. Oh, that is brutal. It wasn't the meat, though. It was the seasoning.
Well, luckily you figured that out.
Worthy Prince. My mom won't listen to me, just won't listen to me. She keeps getting sicker because of what she's eating and just will not listen to me. It's so frustrating.
Well, send her a video, of someone else, like one of the doctors, and maybe that's part of what you're doing and she's not listening to that either. But sometimes people need to hear things from somebody else. Sometimes like a parent is like, well, I raised you. I'm not gonna, like, there's no way you're smarter than me. I raised you, like that might be some of the mentality as a parent. So maybe hearing it from someone else, maybe their age, would help. So look for a good testimonial. Maybe look for someone who's suffering from what your mom's suffering from and try to find a video on that. I don't know. I'm just trying to help you out here.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. Baby steps. I never thought much of my family would be doing this now. I really would have bet against it for some, not just my immediate family, but some extended family that's done it as well. So you may be surprised. Just keep planting the seeds.
Give it some time.
Charger Mopar, Rick, I will not live over 100, but I never want to be in nursing homes.
Oh, Rick, it's a joke, man. You're a Terminator, bro.
Right? You 101 on Rick's 101st birthday. He's going to be like, yeah, I'm walking to the grocery store to get some of that chicken to make that heart attack chicken for my 101st birthday.
Like, I'm on my bike, man, and I got to go back and work on the van again.
Right? He's still going to be working on the truck. Eating some heart attack chicken, working on the truck.
Let's go, Rick.
Was that an iguana that just walked by? What was it?
Quack, quack, my dude. Quack, quack. Look how cute that duck is, man.
That's awesome. Hey, where did my duck go? Emma's been in here editing, and all my whole desk is a mess now. I'm gonna.
Did she clean? Because when my wife cleans, I can never find anything.
Yeah, she hasn't yet. No, but I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, when they clean the kitchen, it's like I'm not even gonna cook anything. I can't find my tongs. I can't find my knife. Where did everything go? Mandy said crispy air fried beef fat trimmings with the small rump chunks.
Say that 3 times. Whoa.
Carnivore Boss, I want to be active with my future grandchildren. Yeah, me too. Hey, Hawk Force, I recognize your name and your avatar. You left me a great comment before. 80 days, I feel so much better. No more insulin and no more diabetes, down 50 pounds. This dude, man, killing it.
Let's go, Hawk.
I get these, JT, I started a special project last night. I am putting together a database of carnivore testimonials, including Hawk Force. People have been sending me these essays, which are great, but I've been getting more condensed versions where it's a bite-sized piece. This is what happened on my carnivore, just real quick, easy to digest. I've been posting them on Instagram for like 3 weeks now, and they just keep coming in. And in my members only, I do a members only live stream every Thursday at 3. A bunch of the members are like, man, I shared a whole bunch of those, and they got really fired up. And they said, it'd be cool if you did like a database. I'm like, let's do it. What if you could have a database with all of these, and then you could search for diabetes?
A keyword.
Put diabetes in there, then you can see here's everyone that overcame diabetes. And then I was like, I've had so many on my channel. It really keeps me motivated. But what about these other channels? Dr. Barry's channel, oh my goodness, hundreds of thousands of comments easily. So yeah, anyways, I got a person helping me, my good buddy Dan, who's also a carnivore. We're putting together a database of these things. And I'm going to keep sharing them on Instagram because they're just bite-sized little stories where you can read, like Hawk Force provided. But talk about inspiration to keep going, man. Those keep me motivated. I get a big smile on my face every time I read those.
That's what it's all about.
Good job, Hawk. That's awesome. Carnivore with Nadine. My long-term wives are aging, healthy, at my retiring age. Enjoy life, relax, hopefully not alone, but with someone in my life.
There you go, Nadine. Go out and get it. start making some extra stops to the butcher shop, pick you up some extra meat, you know?
Hey, it's our buddy Primal Mike. You need to know how to interpret urine ketone strips. It's not indicative if you are in ketosis. Yeah, those things are tricky.
Yeah.
You gotta, if you get that Keto Mojo, JT, you should do a video on it because I think a lot of people would benefit from. A lot of people are scared to do that because like, what? You got to prick your blood. It's really simple. There's a couple of videos on it, but I haven't seen any carnivores really do any videos on it. Jeff uses his all the time. He's got some good results with it.
Yeah, I'll make one up. No problem.
Holly, my goal is to live. Reversing mental things trying to kill me. Also, what to really care for my body as I believe God intended. I love that.
Great goals.
Yeah. I said this before, but just on that last part, as God intended, it's like such an amazing miracle. I don't care what your religious beliefs or whatever. The mere fact that any individual is on this earth right now, all of the coincidences and decisions and things that had to happen for you to be here now. I'm ashamed of my former self to go through all of that and then just have an able body that I'm basically crippling or intoxicating or just not even at half the level it could be performing at. It's just a shame. So that's a very good why, a very good long-term why there for sure. Yes, bacon. Susan Hampton, good friend of the channel. I don't eat breakfast. I usually fast most days until 2, 3, or 4, 1 to 2 meals within 6 or so hours, then fast until the next day, 18 hours approximately. That is a very good intermittent fasting method for sure. I think I kind of do that, although lately I've been eating breakfast earlier. You know, the other thing that's crazy, JT, I don't know if this has happened to you, just real quick. Now that the whole family is mostly doing carnivore, staying up later and later. I've been doing it for a while, but I noticed Jen last night, she used to just clonk out real early. The girls too. Is that carnivore energy? It's crazy.
No, I'm always up late. I probably go to bed around 1 or 2.
Yeah, mine has been going back further and further. The window's getting smaller, but I feel fine. I feel great.
Yeah, I feel great. I wouldn't do it if I felt like crap the next day.
I do have a couple times where I wake up really early, like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. I'm wide awake, but I got a method, and I get myself back to sleep. I'll actually usually watch a YouTube video, which is probably the opposite of what you should do. But I fall right back asleep. And I'll tell you what, when waking up at 3 in the morning and then going back to sleep for a couple more hours, that second sleep, whoo, it is some good sleep.
So deep.
Hawk Force had 4 free-range eggs and a half a pound of ground beef. Shout out free-range eggs. That's another thing. Speaking of the family and the girls, we want to get another big flock of chickens going this year.
Hey, Fleet Farm, I sent you. They got a sale going.
I got to just do it. We got to clean our garage up, man. It's such a big mess in there.
Got the chicks on sale, Farm and Fleet.
Dutch Carnivore said, carnivores are not necessarily in ketosis, at least not 100% of the time. My levels ran between 0.1 and 5.5, the latter when exercising fasted.
Nice.
Dr. Barry says those strips are inaccurate. Only urine samples are accurate. I was only 3 months in and urine showed +1 already from the doctor's test. Hawk Force usually does OMAD, but maybe my body is scared of scarcity.
Could be.
Body self-regulates. I don't check anything. I just trust the process. What are you all cooking for Easter? I think I'm doing that prime rib roast now. You got any plans, JT?
Probably just a ribeye. Keep it simple.
Let's see what else we got here. Question from Mike. Why do you need to be in ketosis? Why are we trying to chase it? Many things affect ketone levels, just like many factors influence blood sugar levels. I think, JT, you were just saying you wanted to get more in ketosis because your weight stalled a little bit and you wanted to...
I just want to make sure I'm in... I always want to make sure I'm in ketosis, or at least as much as I can, because that's where I feel the best. You know, I don't want to... and there's nothing I'm eating to knock me out of ketosis, but I am doing a lot of the weightlifting and stuff. So that can bump you out of ketosis for a little bit.
Hey, it's our friends, the Carnivore Brothers. Sorry I'm late. Hey, I already knew this because I watched the Carnivore Brothers YouTube channel. I think you did a short or something showing what you picked up here. I'm sorry I'm late. Just got back from buying 34 pounds of ribeye for $187. That is incredible. Don't miss out on Easter sales. I got to get to the store today. Check out Carnivore Brothers if you guys haven't seen them. Great YouTube channel.
Get those sales before Easter and after Easter. You're going to have stuff on sale.
Raquel from Texas, have you guys lost friends or at least the relationships really changed, less close because of the way we eat? I'm noticing a little hostility from a friend who seems upset that I steer clear of junk.
No. I've got other buddies and they eat the way they eat and they'll offer me beers and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, you guys know I don't eat or drink that stuff. So I don't notice any hostility from them. And I get treated the same still. But it's on you to reject anything you might be offered that you don't want from those people.
Right. Yeah, I think similar. I have way more carnivore friends now, which is awesome because it's kind of fun to hang around people you want to be like. I heard something recently. It's like you kind of end up being sort of the sum result of the 5 people you spend the most time with or something like that. You want to hang around people like that. But it's tricky. I do know what you're saying though, Raquel, because some people you're like the odd one out. You're the weird one. You become the weird one, and it does create a little bit of awkwardness, at least for a little bit of time for some people. Hawk Force is in Texas.
Let's go, Texas.
Peter, 2 months in at my 90 mark, I'm buying some Japanese A5 for my reward. Oh, that's going to be good.
Nice.
Wagyu.
Peter.
We got Ribeye Ranger in here as well. Let's go.
Go.
Mandy, lion diet for me. Susan said her boys went to a hybrid university model school, so only 3 days a week. I love that they were home more than school. I savored those days. I love that, Susan. That's what I was thinking, too, with the whole homeschooling thing. I'm like, they're done. I can't believe the girls, they're almost 18. It's crazy. It's going to be just like that. And then we'll be sitting here all alone, just me and Jen with a bunch of goats and chickens, and they're all luckily, I think the girls will probably hang around for a while. Definitely, there's no pressure getting out. So, but yeah,
it goes by union business, man. I wouldn't bank on it. They could be making bank, and then they're gonna be like, "Hey, I'm buying my own crib, man."
Right.
It does go quick though. My sons are already almost 3, so it's
flies by. Primal Mike, 1 kilogram of fatty red meat, tallow, beef suet, and salt for my meal tonight. That sounds really good.
Nice, Mike.
Stink Ass Cat said to Raquel, it's mind-blowing that other people are angry when someone chooses to eat differently than them. Yeah, I think some of it is maybe not intentional. Maybe it's a subconscious thing. Like, what is this person doing? And then they're probably second-guessing themselves while they're eating cupcakes and junk food and feeling kind of crappy. Like, what are they doing over there? But they're too scared to do it.
It's always made me laugh, man. No one gets upset when you're eating junk food, but then as soon as you start eating meat, man, people got an opinion. I just don't get it to this day.
Right.
If I ate all pizzas, nobody would say shit.
Yeah. No one. When I was in the worst health of my life, no one said anything to me.
Even if I said I'm going on a Ben and Jerry's diet, that's all I'm going to eat is just Ben and Jerry's ice cream, man. They'd
be like, "Oh, you crazy knucklehead! Oh, go have fun though."
Yeah, yeah. Possibly go wrong? Next get together, but to hear that you're eating meat, man, you get messages and they're like, "How dare you, dude? Like, you're gonna give someone a heart attack." Like,
yeah, what are you doing eating food that humans have naturally eaten since the start of time? You should be eating cupcakes and donuts and pizza.
But listen, a couple Oreo space dunks and it's just fine, you know.
This guy, Gone Mad, has the best name ever because he is legitimately gone mad. Giving away Homestead How memberships. Every live stream, he's giving away more Homestead How members. Thank you so much for that. So if you guys check your inbox, I guess YouTube will randomly email subscribers that aren't yet members of Homestead How. 5 of you are going to get that, so you get a free month membership. As a member, we do members-only live stream every Thursday at 3. I do members-only videos. When we filmed Dr. Ken Berry, we did a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff like that. We're filming out in Austin. We're filming all over the country. We're doing a lot of members-only content. So thank you so much, Gone Mad. You are legitimately mad. It's so generous of you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's see what else we got here. Thelma said, I'm really suffering with nighttime leg cramps. I've been drinking electrolyte drink. I need some advice. I've been ketovore 2 months. I'm 80 years old.
up especially if you got Redmond's. That's pretty much the only electrolytes I need is just pretty much sodium and magnesium. Those are the two most important electrolytes. So I would just up your salt intake, at least, or at least, and if I'm not sure, does Redmond's have magnesium minerals?
I think it's got a little bit. Otherwise, I've been using, I've been trying a couple different things, but there's Element and there's Keto Chow. So depending on what electrolytes you're using, when you first said leg cramps, that was my first thing was, oh, you need more electrolytes. And then I read your next sentence, you've been drinking electrolyte drinks. I would ask, are you having enough? It's tricky, like with the Element stuff. They actually say just whatever you think, just pour a little bit in. So some people might be doing too little or not enough. The other thing is, how much water are you drinking? Because that could actually mess you up. Some people will actually drink too much water where they dilute the electrolytes or just end up flushing them through their system.
It goes quick. When you piss out, you can lose a lot of your electrolytes very quick on carnivore, which is why you want to make sure you're putting salt on your food or you're getting those electrolyte drinks.
Right. It might be worth doing like a blood test too to kind of see where your levels are, like with sodium and things like that. That's the best advice I could have. Obviously, JT and I are not doctors. That could be a good question for like Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee in one of their streams. But if it were me, I always like to say if it were me, I would make sure I'm getting enough electrolytes, make sure you're getting enough sodium. And then the other thing that a lot of people mess up on carnivore is not getting enough fat. Make sure you're getting all of those things and kind of see how you feel from there. And if it's still bothering you, maybe go get it checked out because maybe it's nothing to do with your nutrition. Maybe it's something else going on there that we haven't thought of. So,
but sodium and magnesium, make sure you're getting that.
Yeah, and water. Like I said, it's tricky with the water because maybe you're getting too much water, you're flushing the electrolytes out, or maybe you're just not getting enough water and you're just having a little bit of electrolytes. That's usually what it is for the common person that isn't carnivore. So,
I think most people don't drink enough water. I think
yeah,
that's a pretty common problem.
I drink an incredible amount of water. I'm always drinking water. My snack is air fried bacon. There we go. Primal Mike said, there we go. Drink more water for cramps. Yeah, we got another one, more water. Yeah, so Thelma, think about that. Try that. See how it goes for you.
Let's go, Thelma.
Like, be real intentional about it and keep track. Maybe you actually write it down too. How much water are you consuming? Because it's easy to just go through a day and then, did I drink something? Maybe a little bit here and there. Let's see what else we got here. K-Day asked, Mr. JT, what was your previous weight compared to now?
I was 254 pounds, 256, somewhere between 254 to 258 at my highest. And now I think I am at 168.
Nice.
And I've been stuck in the 160s now for last 2 months, man. I think my real goal weight would probably be around 158 as far as like just body weight. But then I want to bulk up the muscle because anything under 200 pounds is victim weight. You're a victim waiting to happen, man.
It's interesting you said because my goal weight was 162, and I fluctuate between 160 and 165. Even when I did that 8-day fast with Jeff, I dropped down to my lowest. I think I was 157. But then like 3 days later, it went back right there. So I think for the rest of my life, that's it for me. It's like 160s, unless I'm doing some big fast or something. But it seems like your body gets to, I don't know, homeostasis or something where it's like, this is where you need to kind of be at sort of thing.
Until we bulk carry up a little bit for the movie premiere. We just got to put maybe at least 10, 15 pound muscle on you.
I gotta keep hitting those resistance bands we got out there. If it would ever warm up, I've got a lot of excuses here, but we were out there for a while. The girls and I were going out there, and then what is going on? It's a little nice today, but we had flurries like 2 nights ago. I don't know if that hit you on your part of Wisconsin over there. I'm like, come on, it's sunny and beautiful. We're out with shorts on.
Are you ever going to try to put some weight on?
I'm going to continue. I've got some weights. I'm going to continue lifting stuff. So maybe a little bit, but I'm happy where I am. I'm not going to mess with it too much, but try to keep some muscle on a little bit, but
I'm sure Jen would like that.
Yeah. Katie said, "Are you both at a weight stall now?"
I wouldn't say a stall. I'd say we're out of any weight to lose. Like you hit a certain level. When you first start the diet and you're 250 pounds, man, 260 pounds, it goes quick. The weight you lose 6-7 pounds a week, and then I don't have 7 pounds a week to lose anymore. I would be down to nothing. So I wouldn't call it a weight stall. I would say probably just an optimal weight, as Dr. Chafee might say.
Right. Hawkforce said, "I was around 260. Now I'm at 204. Stuck at 204.
Imagine those bowling balls you were carrying around, man.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick, if you're stuck, just for new people out here, I always give this advice. If you're doing the cheese, try stop eating cheese for a while and see if that gets you unstuck. Except for JT. But yeah, that's one of the most prevalent comments on my channel, and everyone's always like, yep, that cheese stalled me out. So maybe something to try, or like we were talking about earlier, maybe try lion diet for a day or two, or a little bit of fasting.
Yeah, switch it up. I was talking to Carrie earlier, and you got to kind of trick your body a little bit once in a while.
Thelma said, "I really don't feel very good. Total exhaustion." Yeah, you need to kind of revisit things.
You might be needing some more fat too, Thelma.
Right.
If you're not getting enough, because some people think they just got to eat the steak, and then they put the fat pieces to the side. You got to eat the fat with it. Put some butter on the steak. Like if you're cooking eggs, put some butter or some beef tallow in there. Don't shy away from the fat though, and just eat the protein, because you could actually get very sick when you're high protein, low fat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, be careful, be smart about it. It's tricky. I get worried. Like I said, JT and I are not doctors, so this might be a really good thing. Go to Dr. Chafee or Dr. Barry or Dr. Hampton. They do these live streams. But oftentimes that is the issue. People are like, I'm doing carnivore and I'm very weak or I'm tired. A lot of times it's because they're doing carnivore, they're eating animal products, but they're eating chicken and turkey, and they're not getting the proper amount of fat. They're not getting the electrolytes. They're not drinking enough water.
Yep.
So you shouldn't be feeling that way for a long period of time. You need to change something and do something about it.
You got this, Thelma.
What is going on? Carnivore Boss, 5 Homestead Hound memberships. Thank you guys so much. Wow, so generous.
The movie, so let's, and then that's more people who are knowing what's going on with the content, and there's more people who are now ready for the movie to drop. So that all helps out. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. Shout out Carnivore Boss. Everyone, all these people submitting too, they got their own YouTube channels. Go check them out for sure. Support them. Rising tide lifts all ships. Let's go.
It does. Kerry, you're at 198,000, so you're 2,000 away from 200.
Yeah, I think I'm at like 198.6 to be exact.
Oh, no. Who's counting?
Right? Who's counting? I keep peeking at it because I'm like, I think in like a week or something we'll hit that number. Here we go. We got a question from Mike and Butter. I'm 57 years old, fair skin, and would sunburn in 5 minutes on a cloudy day, but now 40 days on carnivore, I no longer burn whatsoever and only tan. How is this possible? Oh, here we go. Here we go with the sunburn conversations.
That's good. That's the way it should be, though. Like, we shouldn't be sitting inside all day. Then the couple minutes we go outside, we put on sunblock and all this stuff. Like, that's not natural. But what is natural is being out in the sun for 40 days and not burning. That's
right.
Natural.
So how it's possible, I'll make this real quick. Dr. Chafee and I did a video a while back called Carnivore Superpowers, and I asked him what is going on here. A big part of it is prior to you doing the carnivore diet, Mike and Butter, you were eating the standard American diet, which was highly inflammatory. Your skin was inflamed, and when the skin is inflamed, it's probably more susceptible to getting burned. And since the entirety of humanity is eating this junk crap food, so many people have inflammation and their skin gets burned. There's also theories maybe it's the seed oils that are causing it. I don't know, but I like to think back before they invented suntan lotion, which came out in the 1930s, were people just dropping like flies from skin cancer without this amazing suntan lotion we have now? I don't think so. Now, I know there's arguments that they wore long sleeves and they covered up a little bit more, but that I think that is the big part of it. Getting sunlight is one of the most natural and important things we could do. There's a lot of studies coming out too that people who have bad health outcomes, when you look at the region they live in, there's Dr. Berg did a video this morning. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was talking about Colorado. and how healthy people are in Colorado. And the theory was it was due to the elevation and the amount of sunlight they're getting. It plays a huge role in our health. And so many people nowadays are completely hiding from the sun. They're terrified of getting skin cancer. They're lathering on suntan lotion. I think it's one of the most unnatural things in the world. I can only speak for myself. I'm never using suntan lotion again. I'm good friends with my Amish neighbors that they would laugh at the thought of using suntan lotion. They're literally out in the baking sun all day long. They get burnt a little bit, though, because unfortunately the standard American diet has crept into their nutrition a little bit. But I think that's the big thing. The last thing I'll say real quick is look at the number of people that do lion diet or carnivore to overcome skin issues, to overcome rosacea or eczema. All of these skin issues resolve on carnivore. Why is that? Something's going on there, and whatever is going on there, I think, is probably the same mechanism that makes us less susceptible to burning when we're eating a proper human diet.
Absolutely.
Andy Cole, Fox Lake has a great car show every year. Here we go. Mike and Butter, I've heard that a lot. I'm Cherokee, so I've never burned. Yeah, just to add to that, JT and I have heard that a lot too. In fact, besides this podcast, I have another podcast, and it's called Carnivores Don't Sunburn. It's basically the interviews and stuff I do on the Homestead How I'm interviewing people. And it fires a lot of people up, but I have heard from, oh my gosh, thousands of people that say they don't burn on carnivore, and probably equally as many I have heard that say, I'm carnivore and I do burn. So I don't know. Some people, maybe they have a little inflammation. So you could be carnivore and eat chicken. I do that sometimes. I get really inflamed when I eat chicken. Maybe if I went outside after that, I would say I'm carnivore, but I'm still getting burned. So
a lot of the chicken is bleached these days, man. It's hard to get clean chicken unless you go right to like a beef farmer. That's where, if I do get chicken, that's where I like to get my chicken from.
Right. Ribeye Ranger said, JT, love your carnivore journey story, but no wonder you had it tough growing up with the last name of Moonshine. Has got to be rough.
Yeah, Moonshine, Poko Moonshine is the name of a little pond that we used to fish at. So I don't sell liquor or anything like that. So.
K-Dig with some good questions here. Carrie, JT, what month in the beginning did you both notice the weight coming off fast, no cravings, and when you both started stalling? Thanks, gentlemen. You guys are the best.
Month one was just so crazy. I healed my sleep apnea, my IBS, my anxiety, my depression, my back pain, my hemorrhoids. Everything went away in the first 30 days, and I lost a bunch of weight. Things didn't start stalling till maybe month 7, month 8, because I ran out of weight to lose. There's only so much weight left on me.
Yeah, very similar for me. Very quickly, I did a video, not to self-promote here, but I did a video called "The 5 Stages of Carnivore," and I kind of get into that. And on JT's encouragement, I actually filmed a new version, an updated version of the 5 stages of carnivore diet, where we talk about the different stages. I think, K-Day, you would find that one very interesting because it talks about all of those, the adaptation stage. But for me, the weight started coming off real quick. Once you get into ketosis, that could take some people a little while. Sometimes it takes a week. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But once your body starts burning that, oftentimes a lot of people drop a lot of water weight right away, which is very encouraging. And then depending on how much weight you have to lose, you lose the easiest pounds early in your carnivore journey. When you get later, like JT, and you got those few stubborn pounds left, it gets a little bit harder. But that video is on my channel, and the new version is going live tomorrow, Saturday morning. 5 stages of carnivore diet. Nick Jennings said, love the channel. Have followed you from the beginning. We started the same time. I'm hitting 1 year carnivore this week, and I'm down 206 pounds. Are you nuts?
Let's go, Nick. Let's go.
This is the thing that drives me nuts with humans, JT. We normalize this. 206 pounds. Okay, next one. How can you not stop and appreciate that? 20 10-pound bowling balls? That is absolutely incredible.
The power of carnivore. And imagine how much better your joints and your back feels not carrying that shit around.
Amazing.
Good for you.
Hey, Nick Jennings, no pressure whatsoever, but if you ever want to share your story some more, possibly on my channel, shoot me an email, homesteadhow@gmail.com. That's incredible. That is inspiring for sure.
Let's go, Nick. We'd love to meet you on the podcast here,
And Nick comes through with a $5 super chat. We appreciate that as well. Thank you so much.
MVP now, man.
Thank you, all these members and subscribers and people participating in the chat. My goodness, I'm so far behind here. I gotta go on super fast here. Let me know if I missed anything. Hey, look at who we got in the chat.
Bill
Knott has.
Bill.
We gotta get a song like Elvis has entered the building. Bill Knott has entered the building. Like sirens going off. Wah, wah, wah. Bill Knott has entered.
We make the Bill Nye the Science Guy theme. It's Bill Knott the Ribeye Guy.
Right. Hey, speaking of good YouTube channels, go check out Bill's channel. He didn't have his full video up this week, but he did a short. Bill Knott's channel is amazing. If you guys aren't watching it, you're missing out.
Yeah,
JT's channel.
Subs, man. So let's get Bill up.
Yeah. What is JT's channel name? Poko Moonshine Family, and there is a link in the description. You can click right on it. Go subscribe.
Poko Moonshine.
We got a new member, Patty Foster. Welcome, Patty. Thank you so much for that.
Welcome to the crew, Patty.
Okay, let's see here. Jill said, not an increase in gallstones. Inflammation goes down and the stones move out. There you go.
They can stay gone.
Okay. Another one from Nick Jennings. I'm so far behind. I'm sorry. I'll get caught up here, guys. Love the channel. Been following from the beginning. I'm hitting 1 year in carnivore and down 206 pounds from 430 pounds to 224. Thanks for everything you do.
Wow.
Dude. Look in the mirror. We talked about this before. Love yourself. Look in the mirror and be proud of yourself because what you did is incredible, Nick. And the truth is, I don't care if this insults people. The majority of humanity out there will never do what you did because they're not brave like you are. They're too scared. They're going to go along with the flow, and they're never going to know what it's like to feel like a proper human. Losing 206 pounds. This dude, Nick Jennings, JT, this guy is like a superhero. I could see it. He was carrying around 206 extra pounds. Go try to lift 206 pounds down, walk around with it for your life, and now it's gone. This guy, amazing. Yeah, shoot. No pressure. Some people don't want to do it, but if you want to share your story, you have an open invite. homesteadhow@gmail.com. Shoot me an email.
Let's go, Nick.
We got to do a video, JT. Where can we allocate some 10-pound bowling balls so we could do it? Maybe at the meetup. We got to bring 20 10-pound bowling balls to the meetup. We're going to do the Nick Jennings challenge.
A bowling ball with him.
We'll do the Bill Knott challenge or the Nick Jennings challenge. See, can you carry around 20 bowling balls like Bill Knott and Nick Jennings did?
At the gathering, they had this big ball of duct tape, and you just keep adding out. You donate. So if you want to make a donation, you buy a strip of duct tape and you add it to the ball. And then they would see who could lift up. It was called Big Silver.
Oh, nice.
Big Silver ball.
Hey, shout out another friend of the channel, an awesome person, Nurse Kim. My boys homeschool, and we love it. It's probably the mix of carnivore and homeschool because the kids act completely different than they used to. In public school, they get along now. Yeah. Emma had this good point. I'm like, she's such a good little salesperson. But when she was pitching the whole homeschool thing, JT, she's like, Dad, we're sitting in a classroom under fluorescent lights. I'm like, that's my line. What are you talking about? She said, under fluorescent lights for like 8 hours. We're not getting proper sunshine. It's so unnatural. But I was like, man, you're good at selling this to me, Emma. And it worked. But there is something to that. Obviously, they still have to do schoolwork now, but they get outside when it's sunny out. They set their own schedule. It's much more natural. Much more natural than it's so weird, JT, isn't it? How we have these constraints for school and then work. Like when you go to work, I used to work in an office. You have to be there for 9 hours from this time to this time. Like no matter what, even if you get all your work done, you still got to sit there and you got to do. It's like the most unnatural thing in the world.
It's not natural. The kids that got energy. They're supposed to go outside. They're supposed to exercise. They're supposed to look up into the sun and embrace it. But they got them sitting, staring at a wall, in a room with no real sunlight, no real air. And then if the kids do get a little anxious, they tell them to sit there, shut up, settle down, sit still. Well, they're hyped up because they want to move. Like it's natural to exercise, not sit there like a zombie every day.
Also, sadly, a lot of them are hyped up because they're on an addictive drug we've normalized called sugar. Of course, like they can't sleep at night. Well, you're giving them a drug that lights up the brain like cocaine. They're hyped up. Oh, they got ADHD. Maybe it's the sugar. Maybe it's the processed foods you're giving them. Yeah, that was one of my big carnivore realizations when people are mad at their kids. Like, oh, this kid's got the terrible twos. This kid's so misbehaved. This kid's just bouncing off the walls. What are you feeding the kid? It's like just common sense stuff. Lynn Tucker Carnivore. I do the 3 a.m. wake up too. Dr. Barry says that's from some ancestors getting up to check out things. Safety for our tribe. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, if you can get yourself back to sleep after I get up, I do the safety check, make sure everything's okay in the house, and then fall back asleep. I'll tell you what, man, that next hour or 2 hours of sleep is amazing if you can get back to sleep after that wake up.
I never like waking up 3 a.m. That's the witching hour.
Right.
I let all the creepy stuff that's going to happen just let me sleep till 4 a.m.
Sherry Morgan, $5 super chat. Thank you. What are your thoughts on bison as my main meat instead of beef?
As long as you feel good and you're getting fat.
Right.
But if it's going to lower your fat intake, I don't know. Maybe get some. Is there fatty cuts to the bison? I'm sure there's got to be.
That was my first thought too, and concern is a lot of times the beef is good because you're getting the right fat ratio, especially if you're getting like the ribeye. But to JT's point, like, how do you feel? If you're doing it for a while, just listen to your body. How are you feeling? Are you getting fatigued or tired? Or you feel like you're missing anything? Otherwise, any ruminant animal seems to be like wonderful. If you said you were just doing chicken or pork, I'd be like, for me, that wouldn't work because I get some inflammation. I get some issues with those single stomach animals. But listen to your body and see. I think you should be fine. Plus, if you can get more natural, like I know Joe Rogan does a lot of hunting and getting stuff like that. That could be a good way too to switch things up a little bit. Depends on what you're eating on the bison too. Are you doing more nose to tail, or what are you getting from that sort of thing?
Got to get Joe in the movie, man.
K-Day with another question. Carrie, JT, please explain why garlic, oregano, dill seasonings could be altering to the diet, please.
Well, they're plants. So, and when you put something in your body, that's the law of cause and effect. Every action requires a reaction. So if you're going to put that stuff in your body, there's going to be a reaction to it. And some people might have a fine reaction where they don't really feel much. They don't get inflamed. It makes them feel just fine when they eat it. But other people, they can't have oregano and stuff like that. So I would just go by what you feel. If you feel like you can add it in and it's not hurting your weight loss and your healing and stuff, more power to you. But otherwise, I wouldn't do it because they're plants. Like, I just don't like plants in my diet.
Yeah, same for me. And the thing is, people are like, am I carnivore if I do this? I'm like, you do whatever you want. Don't worry about other people. But a lot of people do Lion diet and carnivore as an elimination diet because they have autoimmune disorders, other inflammation, arthritis. So they try to eliminate everything so that it won't bother them. The other thing is, some of these things, Dr. Chafee talks about this a lot. There's defense mechanisms. There's things in the plants that then turn into the seasonings that could cause issues with you. Another argument, too, is that unfortunately a lot of the plants and produce that we get now is riddled with pesticides and glyphosate and these other things. Some people are like, oh, it's just a small dosage. But for me, I don't want any dosage. And because I get everything I need from a fatty ribeye, literally it's the most nutrient-dense food you can eat. I want for nothing else. I've decided there's no reason. Why would I add garlic or dill or oregano? My ribeye steak tastes incredible as it is, and I don't want for anything else. So, and I don't want to mess with what's working too. I don't want to go back to the former self.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Even if you're just talking about spicing things up a little bit, and if it doesn't bother you, that's fine. But otherwise, every action's got a reaction, so just be careful.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm almost getting through these comments. I just want to make sure I don't miss any. I gotta just star one more here. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we got make sure I did this. Patty Foster's a new member. Thank you. Nick Jennings, we covered that one. Sherry Morgan. Lori, stop. Carnivore Cheer gifted 5 Homestead Hall memberships. This is getting nuts now. Thank you so much. Hey, Lori's just doing this because she's a nice person, but Lori from Carnivore Cheer is one of the sweetest, nicest individuals. Lori is the one that donated the ticket to the Carnivore meetup in Thiensville, Wisconsin, and now she just gifted 5 Homestead Hall memberships.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Lori. You are amazing. Really appreciate it. I did a video with Lori not too long ago. It's on my channel. She's got just an incredible story, and she's just got a great spirit. I love watching her channel. Check her channel out if you guys haven't seen it. Carnivore Cheer. Thank you so much for that.
There is a ticket for the meetup that's up for grabs. So yeah. Email Carrie.
Homesteadhow@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Claim that ticket. Heidi EB said, did you all see the banner on Carnivore Doctor's last live stream? I have not. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Which Carnivore Doctor? There's a few of them.
Lori said, I had to increase the amount of fat because I noticed I had diminished energy. I eat more butter and tallow now. That's a great tip. That is the biggest mistake I think most carnivores make. I fell down that rabbit hole too. I started eating leaner and leaner, and I got tired. You add that fat back, you will feel your energy increasing. Let's see here. Hey, Carrie, I told you this at your meetup about 2 weeks ago. I came in from Detroit. I'm a 50s child. I remember blacks did not burn in the sun until the 80s with seed oils. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, I think I remember you, Trisha. Thank you so much for coming out to the meetup. Yeah, I remember talking about that. Yeah, it's like sunburn is like this new phenomenon, and everyone thinks it's just normal, and it's always been here, and we got to lather on all this suntan lotion.
The farther we get away from what's natural, the more bad things will happen. So,
right. Oh, Carnivore Doctor. They're talking about Dr. Lisa Wiedemann. I think that's her channel name, Carnivore Doctor. She's awesome too. We had her on the 24-hour live stream. What did the banner say though? I gotta go check it out now. I don't know what it said. Let's see if I missed anything else here. Donna said, Dr. Barry and Nisha use seasoning, onions, garlic, etc., but they also recommend that you pay attention to whether they affect you negatively. Use the elimination process. Yep.
Yeah, do what's best for you. You know, if you don't feel good on it, don't do it. But if you feel fine, whatever,
right. I love Mike's comment here. We don't need to follow everything Dr. Barry does. If he uses spices, it's his choice. The fact is these can trigger immune responses in people, so it's best to stay away, but feel free to experiment. 100%. Everyone's different. You get this thing where it's like you're carrying around your carnivore card and you're scared you're going to lose it if you don't follow these very set rules. You do you, I do. I always tell people that too. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just telling you this is what I'm doing and this is what works for me. You experiment, do what works for you. Question, have you seen Dr. Gabriel Lyon's video on animal protein and muscle health? No, I have not seen that one.
Not yet.
Man, there is so much great content out there now, JT. So many YouTube channels to watch. I can't keep up. I'm trying to, but I can't keep up. Dr. Lisa Wiedemann is amazing, said Nurse Kim. She's awesome. She brought some energy to our 24-hour live stream. She's absolutely great. So I think we did it, JT. We got to the bottom of the comments. Wow, I didn't even realize the time. We're an hour and a half in.
Killing it, you guys. And I've got a video dropping when this ends. It's an interview with Valerie Smith. She has fixed so many mental and physical illnesses that plagued her for 40 years. And she fixed it all with the carnivore diet. So you guys really should check out that interview I did with her. She's such a great person. And she's just such an inspiration to me, and I suppose to anybody who watches, because it's just, even if you don't suffer from anorexia and some of the stuff she suffered from, just to know what she went through and how she made it out, it just proves how strong we can be as people.
Yeah. JT's channel is linked to in the description, so click that, go watch. Later after that, I'm launching one too, and it is on, I tested out an air fryer that has a Bluetooth thermometer in it, because I don't know about you guys in the chat here, but I get so many comments from people that are just starting out carnivore and they're not comfortable cooking steak yet. They try to cook their steak to time. They mess it up. Steak can be very expensive. So I've got this air fryer a company sent me, and it's got Bluetooth thermometer in it. And it really, you press the name of the steak and how you want it cooked. It dings on your phone. So I did a video on that, hoping to help some of those folks out that are new to cooking steak. My biggest advice, if you're not going to get one of those air fryers, get a little meat thermometer. Cook to temperature. Don't cook to time. So I'll have that video going out a little bit later after JT's. Thank you guys so much for all of the membership donations, the super chats, the comments. Thankful, grateful.
For the meetup. I'm going to be bringing my meat thermometer. Are you bringing that Bluetooth?
Oh, yeah. Don't leave home without it. I'm going to be having a bunch of these there too. we're going to have so we're talking about the Thiensville meetup, April 13th. There's a link in the description below if anyone wants to join. It's near Milwaukee, southeastern Wisconsin. If you're anywhere in the area, I promise you it'll be worth the drive over. We're going to have some games. We're going to be cooking some food. We're going to have the huge Healing Humanity banner. We're going to take pictures, and we're going to
stories.
Carnivore stories.
Go fishing. I'm bringing the whole family. William's going to be having a ball all over the park while we're there.
Yep, same. The girls are coming. Emma's going to be there. Katie's going to be there. The whole family's coming. So it's going to be a blast. Don't miss it. It's coming up quick, 2 weeks before it fills up. It's going to be a pretty big park to fill up, but
she's doing good. She's doing on the Carnivore now. So I just wanted to give her some extra love. So shout out to Jen. She's doing good.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, JT. It's always a pleasure. I can't believe it's been a week already. Until next time. Beep.
Beep.